Welcome to Shadow Tale, where darkness tells its own terrifying stories. If you ever hear something calling your name in the wilderness, make sure it's not already too late. The first thing Daniel noticed was how quiet the forest had become. Not the peaceful kind of quiet that hikers romanticize, but the suffocating kind, like the entire world had paused to listen. Even the wind had stopped moving through the tall lodgepole pines, leaving the group stranded in a stillness that felt unnatural. He turned around to say something to Mia, but the words died in his throat when he realized she wasn't behind him anymore. Just seconds ago, she had been laughing about how the map made no sense. Now there was only the narrow trail winding through the trees. They had all come to Yellowstone National Park for what was supposed to be a simple adventure. Daniel, Mia, Jake, Aaron, and Lisa, drawn by photos of steaming geysers and endless forests, it was a chance to disconnect from the noise of the world. They joked about ghost stories during the long drive, laughing at the idea that anything strange could exist in such a well-known place. The trail they chose wasn't on the official map. Aaron had found it on an online forum about hidden spots tourists never saw. According to the post, it led to strange rock formations and abandoned structures. It sounded exciting and mysterious. But as they moved deeper into the forest, subtle changes began to creep in. The trail grew narrower, almost as if it didn't want to be followed. The trees seemed taller, their trunks darker, their branches reaching overhead like skeletal fingers. The sounds of birds and insects faded. Mia had been the first to notice it. She stopped walking and turned slowly. "Do you hear that?" she asked. "Exactly," she said. "There's nothing." They laughed it off, but the feeling lingered. The forest seemed to close in around them. Then they found the fence. It appeared suddenly, cutting through the forest like a scar. Rusted metal posts supported a sagging wire barrier. A faded sign hung crookedly. Daniel stepped closer, brushing away dirt and moss to read the words, "Restricted area. Do not enter." "This has to be it," Aaron said, excitement flickering in his eyes. This is what the post was talking about. Daniel lingered for a moment, glancing back. For a split second, he thought he saw movement between the trees, something shifting out of sight. He crossed the fence. The air changed immediately. It was colder, heavier, carrying a faint metallic scent that made Daniel's stomach turn. The ground beneath their feet felt different, softer, almost spongy. "Okay," Mia said. "This is officially creepy." They continued forward, their footsteps muffled. Shadows stretched unnaturally, shifting in ways that didn't match the movement of the sun. That's when they found the structure. It stood in a small clearing. The walls were made of concrete, cracked and stained. There was no door, just a dark opening that led inside. "What the hell is this place?" Jake muttered. A sudden sound cut through the silence, a low, distant hum that seemed to come from everywhere at once. The group froze. Daniel turned to say something, but Mia wasn't there anymore. "Mia!" he called, his voice echoing through the trees. They searched the clearing, circled the structure, and pushed through the trees. But there was no sign of her. It was as if she vanished. "We need to go back," Lisa said, her voice trembling. "We need to get help." They didn't argue, hurrying back the way they came. But the path they had taken was gone. In its place was a dense wall of trees and undergrowth. They wandered for hours. The sun began to set, casting long shadows that twisted across the forest floor. Just when they were on the verge of despair, they stumbled upon a ranger station, a simple wooden building with a single light. The door opened, revealing a park ranger with a stern expression. His face was lined, and there was something unsettling in his eyes. "Our friend is missing," Daniel said. The ranger's expression didn't change. "You weren't supposed to see that part of the forest. It means," the ranger said slowly, "that you need to leave. Now, if you want to keep the rest of your group safe, follow that path. Don't stop. Don't look back. And no matter what you hear, don't answer it." As they followed the path, Whispers echoed through the trees. At first, they sounded like the wind, but soon they formed words. Mia. Daniel froze. He knew that voice. It was her. Mia, he called before he could stop himself. Daniel, help me. The voice came from the trees. Without thinking, he stepped off the path, pushing through the undergrowth. Finally, he reached a small clearing. Mia stood in the center, her back turned to him. Relief flooded through him. Mia, he said, rushing forward, thank God you're okay. She turned around, and Daniel realized too late that something was very, very wrong.